Stage 6 of the Tour of Britain would take the riders from Sidmouth to Haytor, 149 kilometres. In the yellow jersey still, Julian Vermont with a 6-second advantage ahead of Steve Cummings. A very tough stage with a hill finish. This is kilometre 0 and the action was on straight away. 4 riders went away. Visconti of Movistar, Bovenhaus of An Post, Benito of Cayo Royal, and from Madison Genesis, Tom Stewart.
So it was on to the first King of the Mountains at Chinway Hill, and it was Benito that took the top honours, first 4 crossing the line in that order.
And for Bovenhaus, it was a good day for him at the front, picking up points in the An Post in the sprint competition, the Yodel sprint competition. And on the climbs again, it was the same 4 that went over the top in the leading positions. But in 5th place each time, it was Sandro Maurice who was picking up the points at the head of the peloton to secure his lead in the Skoda King of the Mountains.
So the school kids were out all day today supporting these riders, as again at crediting Bovenhaus take maximum points.
So it was a good day for the Dutchman on the An Post team, distancing himself from the nearest challengers, but it soon became a little bit too much for him, and he was the first to lose contact with the leading group.
And then it was Team Sky with Danny Van Poppel that came to the front. With Lotto Soudal, de Bucherer, the gap began to fall.
So the leading group then came down to 2 as BMC assembled on the front of the peloton, chasing hard to pull the leaders back.
So it was then 3 in front, Tom Stewart, Benito, but Visconti went to the back and hit them in the last few hundred metres of the penultimate climb.
So Visconti then teed himself up for the possibility of a lone stage victory for Movistar. Going away then at the summit of Dunchidiuk. But there was still one more climb to come after that. Once again, Maurice crossed the top of Dunchidiuk as the first rider from the bunch, picking up more points. So he now is firmly in control of the King of the Mountains. The final sprint of the day in Chudley went to Visconti as the 2 remaining riders on the break were finally pulled back by the peloton, being led by Sky, who were doing all the chasing.
And on to Haytor, the final climb of the day, and it was attack after attack, and a 4-man group settled down, Dumoulin, Dennis, and that meant that the yellow jersey Vermont started to struggle. Yeah,
Vermont was struggling on the climb of Haytor, and slowly that lead was going away from him as Steve Cummings behind with Tony Gallopin were beginning to turn the screw on the ascent of the climb. The yellow jersey losing valuable time as Wout Poels then launched himself off the front for the stage victory. And it was Wout Poels into the finishing funnel, with the advantage being chased down by Rowan Dennis and Tom Dumoulin. But it was Poels, the man that won at the top of the hill in Hardside last year, that replicated the victory at the top of the hill. The Sky man having time to look back and, of course, give the salute at the line. Great riding by Rowan Dennis of BMC to come over behind him in 2nd place. And Tom Dumoulin of Giant Alpecin coming in for 3rd. Behind the winner of the Tour of Britain 2 years ago, Dylan Van Baarle, was next from Cannondale, and there was a real fight behind as the King of the Mountains, Maurice, came over 5th. Then it was Tony Gallopin, Nicholas Roach, and the man of the match, Steve Cummings, who would elevate himself into the yellow jersey. One-arm salute then for Wout Poels. The wind too strong to lift both arms in the air at the top of Haytor. But it's the man we are looking at now that was the man of the match, and that was Steve Cummings. The time gained by him puts him into the yellow jersey with 2 days to go. The arrival on the summit of the former leader, and that was Julian Vermont. But the victory spoils going to Wout Poels with that courageous effort in the closing stages. So once again, Haytor had provided us with a grandstand finish. The stage result, Poels taking it from Dennis, Dumoulin in 3rd place with Van Baarle coming in 4th. But Steve Cummings' ride gives him the latest iceberg yellow jersey as the leader of the Tour of Britain with 2 days to go. Standings, Cummings leading by 49 seconds from Tom Dumoulin.